Namaste, and welcome. Osteopenia, third series. Are you ready? So remember, when it comes to osteoporosis prevention, consistency is key. We have to apply these notions frequently, like brushing your teeth or just taking care of business. Posture is important. Where we get in trouble is a lot in the collapse of the upper back. And that is one of the areas that we are fraught with the crumbling of our spine. Happened to my mom. It is painful to watch and to experience, more so. So how do we prevent it? By staying strong, strengthening the muscles. And you'll need a chair, a strap, and maybe a blanket. We are off and running. I'm following this outline as we did in class, pretty much, but I will throw in a few variations. Parasvatanasana, and Dr. Fishman is giving us a hand variation. Drawing the hands back, roll the shoulders back, keeping a little bit of bend in the elbows so that we maintain a contraction of the triceps, standing tall and bringing the arms back. So that's the rhomboids that are now working the muscles between the shoulder blades. Now let my chin relax down towards my chest. And as I exhale, ground the heels and maybe get a little bit more lift. Legs are strong, arms are working. Breathing, breathing. And letting go. Second pose is Natarasana. Lord of the dance. Now what he is doing, Dr. Fishman, he is showing the full on event where the arm catches the foot behind. That is a big one. So I propose that we instead do the ones that I teach in class, which is here you can either catch your hand with a strap, with a hand, or you can also use the strap here if the hand doesn't quite reach your ankle comfortably. I'm keeping my arm down behind me rather than up and taking the leg back. So working and getting the hand closer and closer. So both a balance pose, so it strengthens my hips, and hip extension pose, kicking the leg back. Now here, the only difference between this one and the no event is prevention. I take the arm up. I can begin the journey forward, but here it gets sticky. So I have a chair or a wall nearby. Let's move to the other side. So again, first, try to catch the ankle with the hand. And if that is not available, using a strap, or do the modification that we did in the osteoporosis series. Kicking the leg back. Kicking the leg back. And begin to work on the forward hinge. Going back, going back, going back. So you could think of this as a standing bow pose. Standing bow pose. If it feels safe, taking the hand to the sky. That was that. Which now takes us to the next pose, pigeon. This one here, I'm really going to change around a little bit. Mostly because people's knees do not like this variation that Dr. Fishman. So without the knee bending on the back, keeping the back legs straight. And I'm taking care that my, turn around so you can see a little bit better, that my hips are staying even. I'm not collapsing down to one side, but staying upright. And now using the chair, I maintain the lift. In class, you may often find that you're invited to go forward into a forward bend. That's not what we want in this, because we want to maintain this strong lift. Hug the hips in, hug the hips in and in and in. And breathe. Now, could you maybe take this a little bit further by bending the knee up back and catch that? Absolutely. But don't lose the strong lift in the action on the front. All right, other side. Take the chair to the side again. So my right leg comes up and I take my foot up in front. So my right heel is in front of my left hip. So as I sit, maintain the lift, I'm hugging my hips inward, 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 inward. Not collapsing down in my pelvis, but rather pulling upward, creating length, strength, and stability. Breathing in and breathing out. In and out. And can you, again, use the hands, but maybe catch. Bring the hip in. Very similar to the dance, the King Dancer pose that we just did. And we release. Here's nice to stretch back to a dog. So let's do that. And I think we're ready for our next pose. Warrior 3. Flipping it around a little bit this time. So the measurement can take a little bit of time to sort out. I'm standing one leg length away from the wall. I'm gauging here. That looks about right. And I'll push the chair out. I'm still using the chair for support. And I breathe in and I breathe out. But now I have to work a little bit harder than when my hands was on the chair. Everything hugs into the middle line. Yep. I think we take one more breath. And carefully coming down. And then take the chair back in. We're ready to do the other side. Set my left leg on the wall. And now I slide the chair out. And here is Warrior 3 again. Strong legs, powerful legs. And my job is to breathe slow and steady. In and out. Remember the count. About a 5 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And coming down. Walk up to the chair. Challenging pose. And we're moving on. Revolved half moon. Same legs. But now we're going to add a twist to the upper body. And remember, when we twist, when there are considerations for osteoporosis and osteopenia, you want the muscles to do the work, not heavy-handed and leveraging from the outside. We'll start in tabletop. And I'll walk, my right leg is towards the wall, so I'm going to be spinning towards the wall. So my left hand is going to come to centered on the chair. The right hand goes up the wall-ish. It goes where it's comfortable for you. It may be bent. I'm going to take the leg back now. Take the leg back. And then I'm going to begin to negotiate how much rotation is available. Counting in and out. Breathing in, breathing out. In and out. Let's do one more. In and out. And down we come. That's hard, isn't it? I know, it's hard. But it's not hard. Switch. I love using a chair for a prop because it helps me maintain the better alignment for the pose, neutral alignment, not collapsing, not congesting. So here, right hand center, my left side is facing the wall. And here, you may want to negotiate coming in to the twist first, take the leg up, or as we did in osteoporosis, the leg comes up, and then we play a little bit with the twist. And then we settle into the breath. Maybe deepening the twist on the out breath. Breathing in and breathing out. And down we come. Here, cat and cow, always nice. Maybe even go back to a chair dog. Lengthen the spine. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Which gets us ready now for revolved side angle. Now that, I invite you to use a block. Because with a block, it's a little easier to keep my spine long. Starting again with my hand or my wall leg close to the wall, blocks without. This is where we were in osteoporosis. So here, I'm just gonna slide down, get the arm to the inside. And that's where my pose is. Now I can keep both hands here. Breathing in and breathing out. Using the muscles. Using the muscles to turn. And you have a little bit of outer hip because elbow and outer knee are really close buddies here. And then returning to the other side. Block against the wall, left foot against the block. Start what we did in osteoporosis, and then sliding down, hooking in a hand, maybe bring it to the block, and explore the twist. Breathing in and out. So my spine is still long, not congesting, not collapsing, as often happens in this pose. One more breath. And slowly release. Moving along. Plank pose. I take that back. We are in reverse plank pose. So osteoporosis, we were sitting in the chair. Here, we are now on the floor, placing the hands behind the seat. And then begin the work of just lifting the heart. Draw the shoulder blades together, draw the shoulder blades together. The only difference between this and the prevention sequence is here, we lift up. Lifting up. Evaluating if it's safe to take the head back. And if so, I might need to do it. But otherwise, if your neck likes better being up, we stay up. We breathe in and we breathe out. One more breath. And lowering down. Plank pose. Osteopenia. Remember, the wrists can be a little chatty in this. We did some modification in osteoporosis sequence here. We do plank on our forearms. It's a wonderful place to practice plank. And then starting in modified plank with the knees down. Simply press the heels back. And we are hanging out. Breathing in and breathing out. Five count. In. 5 count out. Keep the legs super strong. Hold as long as you can. And relax down. Sitting up. Which now gets us to Gomukhasana. Cow face pose. Here, we now sit on the ground with the legs folded up underneath. You may like to sit up on a blanket. So angle the blanket so that you're not sitting square on it. Rather, this is the formation. This allows space for my legs. I'll take the right leg under the left leg under the right. I'll wiggle in. And then here. We did it before, we were doing the pull apart. Here we're gonna hug the legs together. I like to place my hands on my feet. Press the feet into my hands. So this is for the hips. Breathing in and breathing out. Could you go ahead and do maybe eagle arms? Absolutely. It's going to have benefit. As long as you continue to add muscular actions and not just hanging out in a pose. So you are allowed to cross-reference and play with it. Let's switch to the other side. Snuggling in, spine is erect. And while it may look like I'm just hanging out from the outside, I'm actually hugging my legs together, but I'm pressing the feet into my hands. Activating the muscles, my legs and hips. So in many ways, yoga for bone strength and muscle strength. It's not about what we often think about in yoga. Now here you might like to continue with the eagle arms. It's the opposite. We're hugging in, we are engaging, strengthening, not stretch, 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 stretch. Not what we want here. Releasing. And we are now returning to our hamstring stretches. Osteopenia, we can do both on the ground. I'll show you a new modification today for the parsva, but let's start with our old friend Supta Padangustasana. I like to start with the knees bent. You can make the loop like I often talk about, or hold the strap. The legs straight up, then take the left leg out. The back of the head and the sacrum are resting on the same plane. And as I exhale, I draw the outer right hip towards the floor, but I still reach up into the strap. So I'm engaging the muscles again, not flattening the back. Everything in my spine and pelvis is neutral. I go a little bit as I inhale. And then I engage again, engage, engage, engage. And now here, I'm going to take the strap into the right hand. But before I go further, I'm going to bend my left leg up. I'm going to take the left leg and the right leg out at the same time. And I can work this one here. I'm going to let my right elbow come to the floor. And as I exhale, I very gently but persistently pull down on the strap while pulling up through the right leg. So I'm using now the muscles of my inner thigh. Let go a little bit as I exhale. And I make sure that I stay centered on my sacrum. Pulling down by pressing up simultaneously. And we'll take one more breath. Back to center. Switch the strap to the left foot. I'm going to take the right one down. We're ready to rock and roll on the other side. Maybe extend the right leg out. Monitor. If extending the right leg out causes the whole caboose to slouch down, so you're maybe more to 70 degree, go ahead and bend up the right leg again. So it is straight up. Reminder, this is not about getting the foot or leg all the way in. This is about strengthening, creating stability and strength around the hip. So straight up. Breathing into the belly and then exhale, ground the outer left hip. Back and forth. And let's get to the parsa to the side, bending up your right leg, and I take the knees out. Equidistant apart. This is when I'm not torquing my sacrum. Slide my arm down. I can rest my left elbow on the floor, still centered on the sacrum. Take a breath in. And as I exhale, gently pull down on the left foot, but resist. So you are engaging muscles now, strengthening. Soften a little bit as you inhale. And then again. One more time. Okay, maybe one more time. Leg is straight. Resist. And back to center. Let's take the right leg into the strap. Pull up through the heels. Push up through the heels as you pull down with the arms. This helps engage the lower abdomen. Let's hold that action as you take the arms overhead, not in the sequence I know. This is your downward facing dog. Grounding the sacrum. So it's this very gentle little core strengthener. So just a little bonus round. We'll take the strap in again. Hug the knees in. And full body stretch. Extending, lengthening, and rest. With a blanket, if you are using it, touching the top of the shoulders, that invites your neck to relax. But you may also find that you don't need a blanket. How do you know? If the chin is jutty and the shoulders are pulling up, I invite you to use a blanket to not create any further tension up the neck. Otherwise, resting and letting your body rest in a neutral posture. Back of the head, sacrum, shoulder blades, and heels, resting comfortably. Breathing in, breathing out. Relaxing your body. Toes, bottom of the foot, the ankle, calves and shin. Relaxing the hamstrings and the quadriceps, front and back. Relax the hips, and the buttocks, and the entire pelvic region. Relax the abdomen and the low back. Relax the upper back, the top of the shoulders, and the heart and lungs. Relax the arms, elbows, wrists, and palms. Relax the fingers. Relax the throat, jaw, tongue, inner and outer corners of your eyes. Cross the cheeks and the inner ears. Relax the temples and the forehead, the top of the head. Allow everything to pull to the back of the head, to the back body, letting go. Allow yourself to rest deeply into your breath. like a snug, secure, comfortable hammock, holding you, supporting you. You can stay here as long as you want. I recommend at least a few minutes after practice to allow your body to really consolidate the experience. And when you're ready to release, wiggle fingers and toes, bend up the knees, slowly find your way over onto one side. And then use your arms and hands, pressing up. Boom. There you have it. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share these sequences for your wellness. Now remember, if it's hard for you to practice these on your own, come to class. We do many of these poses every week for that reason, because they're good poses, really good poses. See you soon. Namaste.